Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the official Amazon EU Brand Conference. Thank you for joining, and a very warm welcome to all of you. I am very excited to be live with you today and give you a bit of an overview of what you can expect from the next 2 days. Our, our agenda is packed. Over the next 2 days, we will have a total of 19 breakout sessions, and 37 Amazon speakers will share with you ideas, tips, and suggestions on how to grow your brand and accelerate your business. We have thousands of people participating virtually in this event, Amazon sellers, and those interested to start their selling on Amazon. It is no surprise if you think there are more than 700,000 Amazon sellers in the EU alone. Every one of you is on your own selling journey. For some, it has been a long and exciting road. Others are perhaps just taking the first steps. Whether you have been selling on Amazon for a long time or you're just getting started, I think you will learn a lot today and tomorrow. The next 2 days are designed to accelerate your business success. Our mission is to enable every brand, every small business, every startup, every entrepreneur to thrive and grow. So thanks again for joining. We're very happy to have you with us for the next 2 days. But let's get started on how this will work over the next 2 days. Let me show you the key features of the platform so you can navigate more easily and really enjoy the conference. It's going to be brief, but let's start with the home page. You will be able to see two important things here: the next session and sessions that are recommended for you based on what you have chosen as a preference when you registered. If you want to explore the full agenda, you can either click on live broadcasting agenda in the main navigation, or you can download the PDF version in different languages. In the live broadcasting agenda, you have the option to add your favorite sessions to your watch list or to your Gmail Outlook calendar. Then you should be definitely using the chat function. Oh, sorry, I just got to the wrong slide. No, sorry. During each sessions, we have two exciting things for you. So here, while the presentation will be held in English, you can benefit from artificial intelligence translation to your language, either in text or audio. While I speak, you should see a green text below the session. On your right-hand side, you can then choose your language. And then, of course, you should be using the chat function. Super exciting because you're going to be able to ask questions to an Amazon expert, start chatting with another attendee directly, or you can use it as a group chat to say hello to the entire audience. Also, our presenters will also answer some of your questions after the presentation during live Q&A, question and answers. For that, you will have to use the function Ask the Moderator chat. And of course, we'd like to improve. So after the session, we would like to get your feedback. Please click on the blue survey button right below the broadcast. The survey will be available in multiple languages. Thank you for your help in getting this better. Throughout the 2 days, we do not only have presentations. We have many more features and exciting resources for you to accelerate your business. We will have 9 booths available for the full 2 days. The booths are covering specific topics such as getting started on Amazon, advertising, fulfillment by Amazon, and many more. You can see the whole list of booths by clicking on booths in the main navigation on your left. Within a booth, you will be able to chat to Amazon experts via the Ask an Expert question or request a one-to-one appointment with an Amazon topic expert. Finally, still in the booths, you're also gonna be able to download content and PDF guides and watch videos in the media tab. So please make sure that you check out our content. If the content in the booths is not enough for you, we also have some selected content in 8 languages from our Seller University channel, where we cover a small selection of our normal Seller University content that you can find either on YouTube or on Seller Central. The links will be there for you if you want to explore more. And I know it's a lot of content, and throughout the presentation, throughout the conference, you might need a small break. So please make sure you go check out our Wellness Hub, where you can take a rest and relax for a few minutes during breaks. If you encounter any issue, there is also an FAQ page where you can actually go and find help to troubleshoot most of the issues that you might have. And finally, if I haven't been clear enough, or you want to go back to the way this platform works, there is a platform tutorial where you can find all the information about how this works in 6 different languages. But now, enough for talking about the platform, and it's time for content. So I'm super excited. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Markus Schobert. Markus is leading the German marketplace team. He's been supporting selling partners at Amazon for almost 12 years now. He is really passionate about customers and entrepreneurs. He loves to listen and learn from our sellers to improve how Amazon can help them. Oh, I see Markus is already there. Fantastic. When he started, sellers represented about 30% of Amazon product sales. But these numbers has more than doubled now, as they sell more than 60% of all items sold on Amazon. Many of those products are sold by brands directly, and over the year, Markus has focused more and more of his attention to these. He's a main advocate in Europe for brands on the marketplace, and he's driving team across Amazon to listen to you and improve your experience. So I'm really excited to hand it over to you, Markus. Welcome here this morning.
Thank you, Giovanni. Mille grazie. So welcome everybody also from myself. Normally I would greet you from Munich, but the Munich office from Amazon is still recovering from the Oktoberfest. So I'm currently in Amsterdam. So greetings from Amsterdam. So yes, I am very passionate about brands, about branded products, about brand owners. And let me start with sharing a personal anecdote, a personal story about branding. So in my previous job, so many years ago, I worked for a consulting company, and I got some career development advice. And the career development advice was, hey, Markus, if you want to grow further here, if you want to become a senior principal or partner at this company, you need to develop your own brand. You need to stand for something. So people should recognize you for something. They need to associate with you with something, your values, your value proposition. And compare it to you would be a yogurt in a supermarket shelf. There are literally hundreds of yogurts in a big supermarket shelf. So why would a customer pick you? So at that point in time, it didn't make too much sense to me. So I quit the company a year later, not because of that, but as part of my farewell email, I wrote a lot of like positive things. I had a great experience, but then I ended the farewell email with saying, you know what? And I don't want to be a yogurt in a supermarket shelf. And you know what? In hindsight, so when I reflect upon that, I think I was wrong, because branding is important, right? It's very important that as a company, you stand for something, for your products, that the products stand for something. Even if you're a reseller selling branded products, right? You want to make sure that customers understand what's the value proposition. What do you stand for? So with that, I'd like to formally kick us off into this conference, which happens to be called the Brand Conference, right? And it's our second conference. Last year, we did a virtual one in the EU as well, and I had the pleasure to also open it up. And those that have joined me last year will remember that I talked a lot about customer centricity and customer obsession, and why Amazon as a company is so customer obsessed, and that you, our selling partners, play such a critical role in living up to that mission and vision. So you are very important, a very integral part in living up to our customer obsession. Now, 12 months have gone by, and I hope you agree, and probably you will agree, that the last 12 months have been quite a ride. Right? So on the one hand, a few things haven't changed. So there is still growth. There's a lot of growth, actually. E-commerce and online selling is growing nicely. And that's very important. So the whole offline to online transition, it's still in place. The dynamics is still there. And just to give you one number, in the last 12 months, in Europe alone, more than 70,000 new brand owners, so 70K, 70,000 brand owners started their business selling on Amazon in the EU alone. So what has not changed is that we're also trying to support all of you in generating new growth. We really see that as core to our mission. But on the other hand, the macroeconomic situation has changed quite a bit as well. And I don't want to ignore that. I don't want to leave that unaddressed. So there is inflation. Prices are going up. There is cost pressure. There's margin pressure. So let me also share some thoughts on this. In my point of view, in our point of view, there are three things you could consider doing. And I'm drawing an analogy as to how we at Amazon think about it and what we are doing. So number one, you will not be surprised, focus on customers. So it's a very volatile, very uncertain situation, and it's easy to get totally overwhelmed with it. And it's so hard to predict what's going to happen. So if there's nothing else, then focus on the customer, focus on your product, focus on the product detail pages, explaining what your products are about, your brand story, and try to listen to what customers want, what they need, and what feedback they provide. This is and remains the number one priority for us. And so probably it should also be the number one priority for you. Then secondly, focus on what is controllable. So at Amazon, we focus on inputs. So we try to spend not too much time with things that are beyond our control. We try to focus on things that are in our control. And we usually refer to things like competitive prices, broad selection, so many products that customers want, and then delivery speed and delivery accuracy, aka availability. So these are three dimensions that we call important inputs, and every day we work hard to deliver on them. So think about, for your company, maybe it's also related to one of these three, of course, but it could also be other things. What's controllable? Try to focus on that, because you can influence that. You cannot influence what's not controllable. And then thirdly, sometimes in such a situation, what gets overlooked is growth. Of course, you should focus on cash and cash flow. You should focus on your margins. You should focus on cost reduction, potentially, right? I cannot give you an advice, right? Every company is different, but sometimes what gets overlooked is also focus on generating new growth. That's very important. So let me share a few things along those lines of what we've been doing or we've been trying to do to support you in that journey. So on the one hand, think about what is really core to your company. What are the core operations, the core activities that also help you with growth, and what is probably just ancillary. So you may want to consider whether something like customer service, order-related customer service. So where is my package? Do I need to do that myself, or could maybe Amazon do it? So in some countries, we offer customer service by Amazon for order-related inquiries delivered to you by Amazon. There are more than 200,000 sellers worldwide that are using it by now. Another one, which most of you will be familiar, is fulfillment by Amazon. So if logistics is not your core competency, maybe consider having it done by Amazon. For some products, you don't need to do it for all. So think about outsourcing, what is core, what is not core, especially in these times. Then secondly, focus on identifying new product opportunities. Look at trends, at new niches that are coming up. Also look beyond your current geographies. Look into another country where you could sell. Maybe your products will be in great demand there. We have recently launched a new feature, which is called Product Opportunity Explorer, exactly for that. You will find it in Seller Central in the top navigation bar under the Growth tab, Product Opportunity Explorer. So check it out. It's a very powerful tool that can inspire you and probably can lead you onto new growth avenues. And then thirdly, we also support new brand owners financially. So every new brand owner that registers a new brand in the Amazon brand registry, we are supporting you with up to 45,000 euro in incentives to help you kickstart your business. So these are just three examples, and you will find many more in the agenda of this conference. So please check those sessions out. But I also want to talk a little bit more about how we generally think about brand owners on Amazon and how we think about the innovation we are driving for brands. And it's actually not me talking about that, but I did have an opportunity to chat to Eric Broussard, who's our VP of International Seller Service and a very long-standing Amazonian, about exactly that topic. So since Eric is probably asleep right now, he's based in Seattle, we pre-recorded that session as a video, and we're going to play it to you now. So thank you for that and have a good conference.
So today I'm going to chat to a very special person, Eric Broussard. Eric, welcome. Eric is our Vice President for International Seller Services. He's with Amazon for 24 years, and he's been an essential contributor to building up the Seller Services organization worldwide. So Eric, with you, I'm going to talk about the innovation for brands and also what brands can do to be very, very customer friendly, very customer centric. But before we do so, do you maybe want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Really happy to be with you today. Unfortunately, couldn't be face to face. Maybe next time would love to travel. I've been to Europe many times since I came back. I had really 3 phases to my career at Amazon. As you mentioned, started in 1998, obviously in Seattle, because at the time we were a small internet bookstore located in Seattle, with operations obviously only in Seattle, with one fulfillment center at the time. I had a first phase to my career really working on retail in the US, and then moved to Europe and worked with you, Marcus, for a bunch of years from 2004 to 2012 to really build out our 3P organization, our seller business across the EU and across Asia over time. And then I came back to Seattle in 2012 for the job I'm currently doing, which is really helping sellers and brand owners across the world develop their third-party business on Amazon.
That's great. So Eric, 24 years with Amazon. What has changed for brands?
So if you think about where we started, we really didn't really think about brands early on. We really had resellers, people who had products, very logically, entrepreneurs had products to sell, and they discovered the internet and Amazon, and not only Amazon at the time, but some of these new channels for them to sell their products. And that started to build the business that's become today. But over time, the internet and entrepreneurs realized that the internet changed everything in the ability for brand owners to contact and deal directly with their customers without intermediaries. And that really transformed, and it's not an Amazon transformation per se, but it's a transformation that the technology enabled. And it's really on the back of these abilities that we started building services and features to really tailor to the needs of brand owners. At Amazon, we always say start with the customer and work backwards. And that's a very good example of one of our customer set, our brand owners. And a lot of what we're going to talk about today is the development that you drove, I worked on, to really provide these services to our brand owners, to really enable them on a global basis, to build these brands in a manner that would not have been possible without the technologies that's been developed.
Yeah, so can you say a bit more about it? What's our strategy to serve those brands?
Right, so our strategy is really focusing on the needs of the brands, trying to think about, number one, how you build a brand, right? Is that you imagine you're a small entrepreneur or a large entrepreneur. How do we help you really develop this new brand or extend an existing brand on a global basis? So that's the first thing, building a brand. Then driving that brand to great success. So scale it up. In many ways, the internet and e-commerce is a scale game, and reaching scale is very important to enable the leverage of the fixed costs you might be incurring as you build your brand. And then the third one is protecting your brand, right? Is that as you build this great value of that brand based on these investments you've made, we also believe we have to play a role in really contributing to protecting and enabling your brand to perdure and really continue to expanding the brand value that are so important to our brand owners.
Yeah, so establish, grow, scale your brand, and then protect it. That's very clear. So I have to ask you this question. If you had a brand, if you were a brand owner and you were selling on Amazon, what tools would you use?
Yeah. So, over time, we've built a bunch of tools and benefits. There are like 13 tools that we've built for brand owners and 5 additional benefits that are provided to brand owners that really compound to this portfolio of features and services that are contributing to the strategy I just explained. So I'm only going to talk about a couple, but hopefully through this conference, I would really encourage you to discover the full panel of products and services we've built. So taking the example of a couple, we started in 2016, we made available to our brand owners A+ content or A+ detail pages, which was really a better way for brand owners to present their great products, the features, benefits, and so on and so forth. And one of the things that we're doing now, we're expanding this set of tools to premium A+ content. So it's a logical continuation to the strategy we've had of providing large-scale self-service features so that you can present your product in the best possible way. So it might include videos, image carousels, comparison charts that are really rich now to really do the best possible job in letting you, the brand owner, provide and display all the features and attributes of your product. So that'd be one example that I think I would really focus on. We've observed that people who were using A+ could improve their sales by 5% with this premium A+ content is probably up to 20%. Obviously, it depends on the products and so on and so forth, but it's very, very meaningful in the ability to interact better with customers. So that'd be the first one. The second one, really coming back to this idea of you start with a customer and you work backwards, is this idea of experimenting. It's very difficult for a brand ex post facto to understand exactly what are the needs of customers. And what we're providing is an environment where you can very easily, at very low marginal cost, test content and wording and so on and so forth to better evaluate what can really work for you as a brand owner for a specific product. So that'd be the second set of feature set that I would really focus on to kind of continue evolving at very low cost the quality of the products, the types of product, the variations around the products, I would be presenting because we provide that data-driven environment that's very easy to use for the brand owners to really contribute to that testing and evolving their brand strategies. So these be the two kind of features or benefits that I would think about really focusing on as examples of what we're providing.
Exciting. And what about the more recent developments? What are you excited about? What's new? What do you want to share?
Yeah. I think the one thing that's really exciting to me is the way we're enabling global selling. I talked about earlier, and where we started, we really started, and remember you were part of these teams, Marcus, where we really had local businesses. And we're working with local resellers and then local brand owners of thinking about building a business in Germany or in Spain or in France, or anywhere in Europe. And then what happened was FBA happened, Fulfillment by Amazon, which transformed the ability of a brand owner to deliver their products anywhere in the world with a customer experience that's truly local. Prime products, shipped very quickly, local customer service, which means for the customer, whether that product is offered by a German seller in France or a Spanish seller in the UK, is really the same customer experience. And that was really transformative. So as part of that, the journey we've been on is contributing to evolving our product sets to make it easier and easier for global sellers to operate these global brands in each of the countries in which we operate. So some of the things we've done over time is that you can single account across the world, managing inventory on in a single page. These types of really important features that the brand owners have told us they needed to now manage a global business to really ensure they could contribute to building their global brand. So one of the new development that we're rolling out is improving the listing process for global brand owners. And they've told us, so we've made good progress. We offer automated translation, which really helps the sellers sell across the countries. We're minimizing their cost. But they've also told us we need to continue to improve this idea of list once, sell globally. the idea of like I create a listing in Germany and that listing is now available in the US or in France and so on and so forth. It's translated and so on and so forth. So what you will see like early in 2023 is a focus also on facilitating the pricing of these listings and these offers our brand owners are listing across the world. So that I'm very excited about because there's been a need and a demand from our brand owners and our partners to really continue simplifying the environment by enabling the management of pricing across the world by setting up very simple rules that really truly enable these brand owners to facilitate their job and really continue developing their brands.
That's great to hear. So, Eric, last question. On behalf of the audience, I have to ask you that question. You have so much experience. You've seen so much. Can you tell us what's the success recipe? What does it take to be a successful brand on Amazon?
So there's not one trick. It's not one thing. But what I would say is that the first thing is to start with a customer and work backwards. As I said earlier, what the internet and Amazon to some extent has enabled is for brands to interact directly with their customers with no intermediaries. And I'd say that customer obsession is really critically important to succeed. It's a very competitive world. A lot of brand owners are building their brands, and really starting with the customer and walking backwards is kind of so what does it mean? Is that the brand owner should look at customer reviews and use that as input to evolve the products. Be able to survey, use the platform we are providing to run experiments to really evolve the products and the services that the brand owners are providing as quickly as possible to remain very competitive. So that'd be the first thing. Related to that, as we've talked about, keep experimenting. Things that work in one country might not be working in another, and vice versa. Pricing might need to evolve. Colors and variation might be different across the region and might evolve, and so on and so forth. But really, as I said earlier, e-commerce about scale, but at the same time, it's an incredibly easy environment to run experiment at really low cost. And doing this and trying to find the next product, the next variation that will really work is really part of the value we provide by enabling that environment at low cost and very flexible on a self-service basis. And then the last one, you have to expand globally. It's like in order to reach the scale that's needed to drive the low-cost production and so on and so forth that's needed to really succeed, expanding globally is really one of the key that we've seen sellers succeed amazingly well as they expand across the EU, as they expand across the world to build businesses at better scale. So these be the three things I would be focusing on if I were a brand owner and I were driving that business to scale.
Eric, thank you so much. That was very, very inspiring, very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I really hope this Seller Conference will be super helpful for all of you. As I said earlier, brands have become incredibly critical to our business. It's been an evolution, but also an incredibly successful and exciting evolution. As you mentioned earlier, I've been in the business for many, many years, and it's amazingly rewarding to see how we've enabled these entrepreneurs building these global brands and global businesses, something that's really exciting and impressive. So thank you so much for your business and your trust, and I hope you have a fantastic conference.
So welcome back, and thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Eric. That was really interesting and inspirational, wasn't it? But to really provide you with a holistic view of what we do for brands, we should not forget another key topic, a very important one, brand protection. And to talk about brand protection, we have Mary Beth, who leads Amazon's entire brand protection business across the world. She's also located in Seattle, so we also pre-recorded their message to you today. I'm going to start the video, so please enjoy that, and thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for joining the Amazon EU Brand Conference. It's our annual conference dedicated to EU brand owners. My name is Mary Beth Westmoreland, and I lead the worldwide team for brand protection and selling partner support. I joined Amazon over 2 years ago, and it's been an incredibly rewarding experience. Every day, I get to work on solving complex global technology problems. And I also get to support our selling partners, our brands, and our customers in building, growing, and protecting their brands and their business on Amazon. Amazon's customer-centric culture aligns with our goals of supporting our customers and making an impact. Selling partners and you as brand owners are our customers, so it's important that we start with what you need and then work backwards from there. Now, when I was preparing for today, there were 3 key topics I wanted to talk about. 1, how we protect brand owners on Amazon. 2, how we help brand owners build their brands. And then finally, I'll share a few words about our priorities going forward. So let's start with brand protection, which is definitely one of my top priorities. In fact, just last year, we invested over $900 million, and we dedicated more than 12,000 people to protect customers and brands in our store from counterfeits, fraud, and abuse. Now, we've learned a lot. In fact, we've learned that many small businesses find the process of protecting their intellectual property confusing and even sometimes overwhelming. So we created a program called Intellectual Property Accelerator, which helps brands obtain a trademark and accelerate its protections for their brand everywhere. So far, we've helped almost 6,000 brand owners obtain the rights to their IP. And then once you have a trademark or a pending trademark, the next step is to protect your IP by enrolling your brand in brand registry, providing us with information about your brand that we'll use then to protect it. In fact, once you share your IP and listing details with us, our automated protections go to work immediately. We scan over 8 billion listing update submissions every day, looking for suspicious activity and potential infringement. And our systems are getting better all the time. Last year alone, we removed 4 billion bad listings before they had a chance to ever impact customer experience. And then we don't stop at removing bad listings and bad actors from Amazon stores. We want to stop those bad actors from selling counterfeit products everywhere. So a few years ago, we created the Counterfeit Crimes Unit, or as we call it, CCU, who partners with brands and with law enforcement on criminal and civil litigation. Since CCU was formed in June of 2020, we've referred over 1,000 counterfeits to criminal enforcement and pursued hundreds via civil litigation. And we do all of this to protect brands and customers so that customers can have a consistent, trusted experience every single time they shop on Amazon, and so that brands can focus on growing their businesses. Now, we want Amazon to be the place brands come to get started and where they can scale and grow. And that's why we're also innovating to help brands build their businesses with programs like Sponsored Products and Sponsored Brands that helps you expand your audience. A+ content, video shopping, brand stores, and Amazon Live that enables you to connect directly with customers. And then there's programs that provide insights to help inform your strategy, like brand analytics, and manage your experiments, which help brands understand the content that most appeals to customers. And this is just an example of how we help brands grow. And we're going to keep innovating and inventing on behalf of brands, helping to drive our mutual success. Looking forward, our priorities are focused on making Amazon the best place for you to launch and build a successful brand. We want to partner with brands and all of our selling partners at every stage of your journey. And we recognize that brands need different support at different stages of that selling journey. A brand owner who is listing their first ASIN doesn't need the same support as an experienced brand owner who's selling a lot of products on Amazon. So within that spectrum, we know the timeline and the key actions that lead to a brand being successful. And we're making investments to make sure we help you through this journey and provide support and protection that's tailored to your specific needs. A second priority for us is selling partner support. Brand owner feedback is such an important input to finding and resolving pain points. Like, I want all of our brand owners to have a seat at that table. Our more than 10,000 associates have handled millions of contacts from our selling partners just this year. And these contexts give us so many opportunities to listen and to learn from you. And technology is going to continue to play an important role going forward. First, technology should prevent issues from happening. And then if you do run into an issue, we want to anticipate your needs and then proactively offer you help through our tools. But also, when you want to talk to one of our support associates, we want to make it easy for you to connect and also do it quickly. And you've probably heard us say before, it's always day one at Amazon. Since opening our doors in 1995, trust has been just core, the foundation of everything we do. And nearly 27 years later, we're more effective than ever at protecting customers, brands, selling partners, and our stores. And while we're very proud of the progress that we've made, we're not going to stop until we drive counterfeits to zero in our store. And we're going to continue to invest and innovate until we get there. We also appreciate the growing industry-wide partnership and collaboration in the fight against counterfeit. And we're excited about what we can do together to help hold bad actors accountable and ensure the entire industry is protected against counterfeiting. And if I could leave you with one key message today, it's this. We're here for you, we care about you, and no one is more invested in your success than Amazon. As we often say, Amazon can only succeed if you all succeed. Now, I also highly recommend that you attend the brand protection breakout session today at 11:50 a.m. CET by Ann Zeman, head of our EU brand protection and transparency teams. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your time at the Amazon Brand Conference.
So thank you, Mary Beth, as well. We are at the end of this session. After all of this content, all I want to say is take full advantage of everything this conference has to offer to you over the next 2 days. You heard a lot of exciting topics already mentioned by Eric, Marcus, and Mary Beth. But what I want to talk about before I close the session is the next 2 things in line that are very exciting topics. If you are not yet selling on Amazon, or you're new to Amazon and just started, you shouldn't miss the next session on Amazon Flywheel and what it means for brand owners on growing their business. But if you already have some experience in selling on Amazon, or you're just interested in marketing, you should head over to the session on tactics to try on your marketing strategy on Amazon. So, go ahead, choose your session. But before you leave, please let us know how you like this session by clicking on the blue button, as I mentioned before, for the survey. Thank you again for joining the session this morning, and I hope you enjoyed the next 2 days. Thank you.